All right, and we're still going through there. Preparing live stream, setting it up, getting it good, getting it going. Awesome. All right. Edit. There we go. All right. See, are we showing live? All right, we're going to do a little test here real quick. I just wanted a little feature that I came across. I wanted to double check on. And let's see here. Edit. Let's go live. Yes. Double check here. We're going to hear some of this. Yep. All right, good. All right, so guys, we're fixing to get ourselves started here, going live, and this is a going to be a running a running theme. So anyhow, we're gonna be testing this out, trying this a bit. The podcast actually is going to also be, because of podcasting 2.0, we're actually going to be able to live stream this over to like Fountain, Podverse apps, things like that. So if you don't have any of those types of podcasting apps, I would recommend you go over to new podcasting apps, or relaxedmail.com/new apps, and go to there, and you can actually see another place you can go to get to the same place is go to podcasting2.org/apps, and that will get you to see all the different podcasting 2.0 compliant apps that are out there. So guys, anyhow, so yeah, let's get ourselves rolling, get ourselves going, kicking this bad boy in the proverbial teeth and sent down the road. So, all right. Today we're going to be talking about improving yourself. So like I said, this is live, so it's going to be a little bit different. I am actually going to be recording the podcast itself also. So yeah, you're going to see some of the background stuff that the refined podcast isn't going to have, like all the different spaces and gaps and things like that happen in there. So yeah, we've got all of that good fun stuff to do. So all right. Anyhow, all right. So let's get ourselves started. Get the recording going. There. Why do you want to improve yourself when it comes to your relationships? What is it about you? Why do you need to have yourself improved while the other person doesn't? We're going to be tackling this whole topic this week on episode 231 of The Relaxed Male. This is The Relaxed Male, a show that comes to you each week helping men to remove the nice guy from their life so they can actually live their life on their terms. Join the host, certified coach Brian Goodwin, as he helps men step out of their heads and become free from the thoughts that bind them. Hey, man. Hello, and welcome to The Relaxed Male. I am your host, Brian, and I'm a certified men's coach who assists men who are just neck deep in the suffering of their lives. And they struggle with those relationships, struggle with the problems that relationships can often come about. And we're going to be talking about one of the big struggles that we have, and that is why we need to improve ourselves to have a better relationship, because these relationships can be tricky. They can be kind of frustrating at times. And even when they fail, we can grow from that, and we can become better because of those different types of failures. And that's what we're actually talking about this week. We're talking about improving yourself, getting yourself better, getting yourself to where you are the better ideal man that you want to be, and finding the why, finding the steps, the details that you want to be able to have a life that you crave for, the relationships that you want, the wife that is glad to see you when you get home, who is just a great and wonderful allows you to have a great and wonderful experience. And so we're looking at the ability to improve yourself. Now we want to look at several of the different things. So when it comes to our relationships, and being able to improve ourselves is, like I said, one of the more crucial items. Our relationships are important. However, there are times that our relationships and the communications, the connections that we have, they're just kind of start to crumble. And this happens often when us guys sit on our laurels. We just sit back. We get home from a long day, and we would rather just be able to relax and not have to deal with all the kids and deal with all the headaches. And our wife comes in and she starts asking us 100,000 questions, and we then blow up. We kind of become standoffish, and then we step back and we wonder, well, why are we not connected like we used to? Why do we not have the wonderful relationship that we used to have? And how are you supposed to improve these relationships? How are you supposed to become a great husband if everybody keeps doing things that piss you off? Well, that is kind of the point as to when it comes to improving yourself. What happens when you improve yourself? And why do we want to improve you? Not to find a way to get our wife to do what we want them to do. And the point to that whole little aspect is that you can control only two things: your thoughts, your actions. You can't control your wives. You can't control your kids. You can't control your employees. You can't control your boss. Nothing in the world is controllable except for you. How do you show up to whatever the circumstance is? Now we often wander through life living a very unintentional life. We end up having aspects of our life that we struggle with. We bounce off of difficulty, strife, conflicts. We have arguments with our wife, and we break those connections down. But then we never go back and we never fix what was actually broken. And so a little bit of stress and a little bit of breakage happens every time we have a fight. But if we don't ever repair that fight and we strengthen that connection back anymore, it's like taking a broom and or a broomstick and you kind of bend it a little bit, it's not going to break. You kind of bend it again, it's not going to break. But eventually you're going to start getting a lot of bend in there, and eventually it's just going to let go and it's going to snap. And then a lot of us guys step back and go, well, I wish I knew she wasn't unhappy. Well, she was letting you know she was unhappy. She showed you that, but we were too busy being in our own little world, living a very unintentional life, to even acknowledge the fact that we had caused a lot of problems. And yes, it was us guys, us men, who caused the problem, not because we didn't take the time to step up. Well, I shouldn't have to step up. Maybe why don't she step up from time to time? Again, refer to the rule. You can control your thoughts, your actions. So if you want something to be better, yeah, you have to do it yourself. You have to become the better person. You have to become the better man. You have to work on your basics and work on yourself and try to get yourself to be the better person. When you're a better person, as Jim Rohn says, you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. That means that if you're around 5 people, their influences are going to improve you. That is also true in reverse. If you're one of the 5 people around your wife, you're going to have the ability to influence her and improve her strictly by proximity effect. You're going to be around you. If you're a better person, you're going to cause your wife to wonder why your life is becoming better, and she's going to want to improve. She may not even fully understand why, but she knows that because you're influencing her life, she's going to become a better person. Does that work all the time? No. She also has her own thoughts and about what different circumstances are. So she's not going to take the same path you are. And if you ever think that that's the way that the the world's supposed to work, well, I'm going to let you in on a little secret. It doesn't work that way. So you want to start off, if you're wanting to improve yourself, if you want to become the better man, you want to have the relationship that is just rock solid, and you've got a wife who is just loves you dearly and, actually enjoys kind of getting naked for you from time to time. You want to start off with the basics. And the basics in this instance is working on your four pillars. And if you're not familiar with the four pillars of relaxed male, the four pillars are the man's mind, the man's body, the man's soul, and the man's community. Each of these are important for a man to just have a good foundation in his life. And you can you can make improvements on some and kind of let others slide. And yeah, you've got three other pillars that can help you stay together, but that fourth one just really levels everything out. So that's why there's actually four pillars. And I want to real quickly, if you've listened to any of the other episodes, I talk about the four pillars on a fairly regular basis. And on my website over at relaxedmale.com, those four pillars are listed all over the place. So to get into that, we're going to start with the first one being the man's mind. This is you working your brain, you learning, growing, improving how you think, improving how you look at the world. And you can only do that by actually intentionally working on your mind, reading books, listening to podcasts, attending conferences, things like that, becoming better and amassing knowledge and applying. That's the key part, though, applying the knowledge that you have learned. Some of us like to, and I'm guilty of this myself, of amassing knowledge, learning stuff, and then not ever applying it. Well, what's the purpose of learning something if you're not going to use that knowledge? It's not benefiting you in any way. It's not benefiting those around you in any way. So you want to work on if you're going to build your mind up on something, build knowledge and then use that knowledge. You want to learn different parts of whatever the problem is. What do you learn is, yeah, you can read books and read fiction books and stuff like that, and you get a little bit of knowledge and a little bit of insight through there. But I really am focused in on the nonfiction, the learning books, the self-help books. Are you struggling with having connections? Or having, you've got you're not a connected person as you'd like to be. What do you do? Well, I mean, you might go out and read Getting to Zero by Jason Gaddis, a great book on how you approach conflict in your relationships. Or maybe you're wanting to try to improve the business so that you are able to have more financially stable life. Okay, then you might be reading books by Zig Ziglar or some other I keep Zig Ziglar is the one that I've been reading about the most, so it's the one I kind of comes to mind. But different Seth Godin and books on selling and how to improve the bottom line, or maybe some type of business finance book. These are all things that you may be reading if that's what your interests are. You maybe you have a son who is acting out. That might be where you start reading books on child development, and you're trying to understand how do you get your child, your son, to be a proper young man. And a lot of that's going to be work on yourself. You're going to find out that a lot of it is you have to have the man of the house involved in your son's life. The better the man is the boy's father. You can get the father to be involved. If you're the dad, we're talking you involved your son's life a lot more. He's going to be a lot better balanced. That's also is the same for your daughter. If your daughter is struggling, dad, you've got to be involved. These are the things that you end up learning when you're working on your mind. Now, the other pillar is the man's body. This is just your health, working on your body, getting yourself in shape. Don't have to be cut, ripped, and all that, but having some semblance of fitness in your life, being able to run to the end of the block without getting excessively winded is a good thing. To have the ability to have some form of endurance is critical, because your fight for your family is often going to be very physical. And if you don't have the wherewithal and the ability to do that, and I'm not just saying that, because a lot of y'all like to go off and say, well, that's what a gun sport. No, I'm sorry, but your body's got to be able to withstand the stress of having guns fired at you also. So if you're in an actual shootout or something, and you're not physically fit, you're probably, the stress of that is going to incite a heart attack somewhere down the road. How are you going to help your family when you're dead? All right. You need to get yourself in shape. You need to be eating a little better than what you've been doing. I'm not saying go vegan. God, no, I would never tell you to do that. Unless that's something you want to do, then okay. But if you want to be able to eat steak and potatoes, okay, well, eat steak, potatoes, and throw in some green beans or broccoli, or have some eggplant or whatever, some other types of vegetables, and mix in some fruits in there from time to time. Instead of eating a Snickers bar, have an apple. And then walk for a couple miles, or run, or go to the gym and lift weights, or get into Brazilian jiu-jitsu, and just find a way to work your body, get yourself into shape. One, you're going to look better. You're going to feel better. You're going to have more energy to do things that you normally wouldn't want to do. And on top of that, your wife is going to look at you like, hey, you're looking a little hotter than you used to. You're no longer Pillsbury Doughboy. You're getting a little closer to the fit throw, not the Thor. You're not bro Thor. You're starting to get, you're getting that six pack kind of assembling back. Yeah, there's a little loose skin, but that's okay. It'd be better to have some loose skin than to be dead. All right. So you want to work on your body so that you prove to your wife you're here for the long haul. You're going to be there, and you're going to be there for the extent of how of y'all being together. The third pillar is the man's soul, and the man's soul is important, because if you're not doing what aligns with your soul, that's where you're getting the burnout. That's where you're getting the depression. That's where you're getting the frustrations and the dread of going to work. Now, is work always fun? Is it always easy? No, it's not. But at the same time, if you're not doing something that feeds your soul, whether it is helping other men, helping the less fortunate, building birdhouses, or what, in finding something that just nourishes you. It might be your hobbies in your life. These are things that you can do that just, one, allows your brain to reset, but also it brings It lets your soul shine. Now, a lot of people want to use the finding your purpose and work a purpose, doing your purpose. It means that you will never work a day in your life. And that's really cute. I am one of those who can say if you can find what your calling is and you can make money from that, then by damn, go forth and do it. But that's not always the case, and that shouldn't be the case. If it feeds your soul, and it's running a soup kitchen, okay, how do you run a soup kitchen and feed your family at the same time? These are important questions you want to answer. If you're out to help the homeless or help the less fortunate in some way, you still have your responsibility with your family. So you got to be able to work both of those. Or maybe it's just on the weekends, you're doing what feeds your soul whenever you can, however you can. Now, the fourth pillar is probably, well, it's not probably, it is the most important pillar, because without that pillar, you're going to probably more likely fail on your soul pillar, on your body pillar, and on your mind pillar. And the reason why is because, again, Jim Rohn's famous quote of "You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with." I actually have changed it to where it's you're the average of the 5 people you spend the most intentional time with. And the fourth pillar is the man's community, and that is mostly the friends. How many friends do you have in your community, in your little group of guys? Or is it just you and you sometimes go hang out with Ed over in accounting? If that's you, you need more than just Ed. You need Ed and from accounting, and you need to bring in some other guys. You know, that one guy that you kind of been wanting to talk to over in church. If you go to church, I hope you go to church, because that's a great community to be a part of, whether y'all like to think it or not. It's a good community to attend, to find other men who are like-minded as you. Going to meetups is another place that you can find other men who are like-minded as you, and you can piece together your 3 a.m. group, which is that group of men that you know you can call when you are 2 states away, 3 o'clock in the morning, and you need help. It's like, dude, my car is just got jacked and I don't know how I'm going to get back home. Can you come and get me? And they go, yeah, where are you at? And you give them the location, and they're like, all right, I'll be there here in a couple hours. And they show up. Those guys are everywhere. Society doesn't want you to think that they are, but they are everywhere. You just have to do the work to find them. You have to decide that getting off of your phone and stop scrolling through Facebook as much, so that you can actually talk face to face with these guys that are all around you. Inviting them over to your house to where y'all sit around and y'all have brown water and have a good discussion about whatever the topic is. Y'all have discussion groups. You talk to each other. You share what is important to you. Y'all become and start intentionally living your life with each other. This is a big thing and a big change and a big help for you when you are improving yourself, because when you can have a group of guys who are supportive of you, their masculine energy is going to feed into you. It's going to fill you up, and that you can then take that masculine energy and share it throughout your family, and that will lift them up, because you have a group of men who help you. When you have that emotional problem, you have those guys you can share that with, and you're emotionally more stable when you have this group of men. It's not like how women talk. We don't talk to other men the way women talk to each other. Men, we can be in the vicinity of each other and still be able to help each other. Does it help to talk? Yo, heck yeah. And it doesn't actually necessarily even be about the problem. We us men have this wonderful ability of being able to help each other just by being around these other men. But yet, especially us nice guys, shy away from men. We would rather kind of bend over towards the feminine side of our relationships because women are a little easier for us nice guys to manipulate, or at least we fool ourselves to think that. So you need to bring masculine men into your life. When you start having these masculine men pour themselves into you, your community grows, your community becomes better, your community becomes the one where everybody else starts talking about it. And you start finding opportunities that show up out of nowhere, and your life becomes better. Thanks again to the fact that you have quality, noble masculinity in your life. Now, there's other points that I want to talk about, not just the four pillars. It wasn't just a point to the four pillars and why those help you become better. There's other things when you're improving yourself that you want to make sure that you keep in mind. One is that failure is good. Do not shy away from a challenge because, well, you've never done that before, because it's something hard, because it's not what you're good at. If you're not good at something, that's the very big reason as to why you want to go ahead and do it, so you can become good at it. Failure is good for you. We don't have to celebrate the failures. You can be angry and upset over the fact that you failed in something. Don't waller in it and shy away from the challenge of getting back on that proverbial horse and doing it again. Failure is there to teach you a lesson. Learn from it. Feel that pain that comes with it. Climb back on the horse and realize, I don't want to feel that, me landing on my ass like that again. So let's not do that, or find a way to not do that. Failure is good. Now, another thing you want to know is that when it comes to your thoughts, because what holds you back, what allows for success are your thoughts. Your thoughts create your emotions. Your emotions create your actions. Your actions create your results. So your thoughts create the results you want. So you have to pay attention to what your ruminations are. What are those thoughts that keep going round and round and round in your head? Those thought loop errors that you're getting, those thought errors that crop up every time you come face to face with something that you've never done before. Those thoughts that are holding you back, those thoughts that turn you from purpose to doing the opposite, to going to a buffering and doing just indulgent emotions. Those thoughts you have to change, and you can change your thoughts. But to be able to do that, you have to pay attention. You have to see and understand when you're having a thought that is going to hold you back. When you can actually do that, you're going to start learning how to alter your route, alter your life to where you're going in a direction that will actually benefit you. Now, the last thing next to last thing is, if you want to have a better life, you want to have a better relationship, and you want to improve and better yourself, start understanding how you can have better disagreements. Get better at disagreeing with other people. Doesn't mean you have to sit and run around and troll them and be an SOB because you just feel like that's what you have to do. I'm better than myself, so I have to disagree with everybody. No, you don't have to disagree with everybody. But when you come across somebody who is disagreeable, you just don't light your hair on fire and go, oh my God, this is horrible, and blah, 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 blah. You want to go off and you want to be able to have discussions with them to understand that conflict that you're having. You want to have date night every Saturday night by going just to the same restaurant, and your wife wants to go to other restaurants. Well, they have good steak and potatoes here, and I don't like going to the Catfish Shack because I mean all they have is catfish, and I don't like catfish. I mean, if you don't like catfish, first of all, I'd have to ask what's wrong with you. But second of all, it's okay. You don't have to like stuff to try new things. You might have a decent hamburger at the Catfish Shack. I don't know. You don't know, and you refuse to go to it because it doesn't have steak and potatoes. Well, again, for your body, you're starting to branch out. You're having some other types of meats in your life. You might try some lamb. You might try some different types of fish. You might find that, hey, there's some fish out there that's actually pretty darn tasty. Oh, but it's fishy taste. No, it's surprisingly that halibut doesn't have near as strong of a fish flavor as you thought. Oh, wait a minute. Let's try some lean meats. Try some elk or deer or moose or whatever it is. You might find somebody who has a freezer full of exotic meats that you would like to try, and they're willing to sell it to you. And so you buy some. You can improve yourself by going out and trying different things and having disagreements with your wife on what's, I got sidetracked. I know I got it. See, I came back to it. But your wife having disagreements on what you want to do versus what she wants to do versus what your son wants to do, what your daughter wants to do, what your boss wants to do. All these people are going to have disagreements, but when you can have a disagreement and you can heal and fix that disagreement, that conflict, you have a stronger connection because of it. The key, though, is understanding, why are you running away from the conflict? Why are you not attending to the scary discussions that y'all are having? When you can stop running from discomfort and start having those hard to have but important discussions, you're going to find that your life gets better and your marriage gets better, and your wife, she actually has more faith in you and more trust in you. And all of a sudden, because she has more faith and more trust in you, all of a sudden her clothes are falling off a lot more often. And it's almost wild that you're having a little bit more sex from time to time. Why? Again, because you decided to have the conflicts that you were running from. You decided to start becoming better at disagreements. And now the last one is, you can get a coach. If you want to become better, a coach can help you in any type of direction that you want to go. Now, if you're having problems with you're having emotional problems and you're spinning emotionally and you're falling into depression and things like that, this is where a therapist comes into play. That's not something that a coach does. A coach, though, can take you from where you are right now and can help you see what the future beholds. And you can then take those steps, and he or she, depending on which coach you get, can also help you reach those goals. They can help you to find, like, if you want to have a better relationship with your wife, a relationship coach like me, great thing to do. If you want to have a better relationship with your boss, then maybe a business coach is the direction you want to go. You want to have a financial coach can help you have a stronger wallet. But to be able to do that, you're going to have to first go and pay attention to what it is that you want to improve. Because when you start improving yourself, you start seeing where those weak areas are, and you can then start building up on those weak areas, start shoring them up so that you have a better life. So guys, with that, I want to say thank you very much for listening. Thank you very much for seeing what is going on in this new live version of the of the Relaxed Male podcast. I am live. This is actually going to get edited and chopped up and put into the into the RSS feed, and will come out this coming Thursday at typically about 3:00 in the morning Central Time is whenever I aim for it. So it'll come out and it'll be ready for you to listen then, and you can actually kind of go over everything that I talked about if you are interested in it. And again, if you want to be able to receive this, be able to listen to the podcast itself live each and every time it goes live, which is I'm going to start aiming for about 2 o'clock on Sundays. And but again, I'm still working on time, so who knows? Maybe it'll end up being Saturdays. Other times it might. Who knows? Who knows? I can't guarantee anything. Life comes along, so it's going to be. We're going to try to go as live and as often as we can on a as steady of a course as we can. So anyhow, I'm more battling. We're coming to the end. We're wrapping everything up. So guys, if you are interested in being coached, you have some relationship issues that you want to improve, maybe you're thinking, man, this marriage is nowhere near what it's supposed to be. How do I become better? How do I become the man that I need to be, so that my wife and my kids can turn to me and become and see me as the husband I want to. Maybe you want to have a stronger connection. Maybe you've told yourself that it's not possible to have a better connection. Maybe you've not had a an example of what a good, healthy marriage is about. A coach like me can help you do that. You can go to relaxedmale.com/coaching offer, and that's all one word. And there you can fill out a form, and I will send over to you a Zoom invite and or a place that you can actually schedule for a Zoom invite. And we'll sit down, we'll talk, and there'll be about 3 meetings that we do. And that will allow me and you to kind of feel each other out and understand, hey, this is what this is about. Hey, I can help you with this, or I can't help you with that. And we can determine, hey, we'd be a good team together. Well, let's team up, let's work it through, let's help you become the best man possible. And with that, if you would like to do that, then we can go from there. And like I said, it's about 3 visits that we do. So if this is something you're interested in doing, go to relaxedmale.com/coaching offer. And we'll talk to you then. So guys, with that, I want to go ahead and say thank you very much for listening. If anything I said here resonated with you, please take this, all podcasting apps of choice have a share button. Hit that share button, share it to your Facebook and your Twitters and your Mastodons and wherever else it is that you share your podcasting or any of your, not your podcasting, but any place that you end up sharing your to your community. Please take the time to share this out. Let them know that, hey, we've got this show, the Relaxed Male, that is helping men become better men. And post it up. Let me know that what you're saying, and I love to jump in and I'll be part of the discussion. So guys, with that, I want to say thank you very much for listening. Y'all take care, and we will see y'all next week. Till then, go live your life on purpose. So now